Yep, all the players are saying he's far more aggressive than players like Phil Ivey and Gus Hansen. That is saying a mouthful.
All right, 5 players going after $750,000 here at Foxwoods. Let's go to the table. Amnon Filippi quickly folding his hand.
Around to the Navy man. Lenny Cortellino looks down at 2 kings here. This is beautiful. Lenny, one of 2 players that have been at a WPT final table before in this fivesome.
He's made it 60,000 to go. A couple folds to the chip leader, Vadim, who's got a 10-7 of clubs in the big blind.
They're suited cards, so there's no way Vadim is throwing this hand away. He makes the call.
Yeah, living up to his reputation as the loosest player since Phil Ivey. And here we go. The flop. Oh, man, 3 of a kind for Lenny.
He has flopped the top set. Action on Vadim here. We know he likes to bluff a lot, but if he bluffs here, the Navy man will torpedo him right out of this pot.
Yep. And Vadim is going to check it. Now, how do you play it? Do you trap here a little bit when you hit the absolute nuts on the flop?
Well, Vince, against a lot of players, you might do it, especially an aggressive player like Vadim, but he's the kind of guy that could also have a 5-6 or 5-7 in his hand and might come over the top of you with it.
Well, Lenny's not going to try to trap. He's bet 90,000.
So he is going to bet, and he is going to hope that Vadim raises him, but that doesn't happen. Vadim lays it down, so Lenny Cortellino picks up the pot there with 3 kings.
There's Lenny's mother, Ann, rooting him on. Lenny's 45 years old out of Lewiston, Maine. What an opportunity for him here tonight.
What great sporting event happened in Lewiston, Maine, Vince?
I have no idea, my friend.
Well, that's where Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay, fought Sonny Liston for the World Heavyweight Championship title.
That is great, great knowledge, Mike. Thanks. Anyway, a quick fold by Lenny. Matt Casterella, they call him the hot cheese. With 10-4, he's going to make a move here. He's raised it to 60,000.
Vadim goes out. Over to Amnon. He's going to make the call with an ace-7 offsuit here, so the hot cheese has got the highway patrol, the 10-4 offsuit, needs some help and doesn't get it. Amnon has flopped 3 aces as it comes ace-ace-queen.
Oh, boy, and he's going to try to trap here. He checks his 3 aces, but hot cheese, pretty smart, going to check behind him.
Well, doesn't make the continuation bet. A little puzzling when 2 aces come out there. Well, 8 of diamonds comes off on the turn.
85.
Amnon's going to bet 85,000 here.
Yeah, no more free rides with your 3 of a kind.
So right now the hot cheese is turning into melted cheese.
It certainly is. He has absolutely nothing here, but
225.
He is going to come over the top, make it 225,000 to go.
hot cheese, control yourself. What a bad time to do it. And look, he's trying to act very casual with his mumbling. But hot cheese could become molded cheese very quickly because Amnon making this sneaky deaky quick call.
Well, he does make the call with the 3 aces, but you don't like it, Vince. When a guy raises you on the turn after checking on the flop with this hand, you can't be fond of an ace-7. Now a 3rd diamond comes out there.
Not just a guy, it's hot cheese. You can't have anything. But Amnon's going to check the river. Now what do you do, mister?
Well, he's made a pair of 10s here, Vince, so he's going to check it. The 3 aces by Amnon are going to take down this pot. And he's saying to himself, well, you may be the hot cheese, but pass me the cheddar, my friend. I'll take this one.
Oh, boy. Of all nicknames, that one's got to be ejected, I tell you.
Oh, I don't know. I sort of like it, Vince. I sort of like it.
All right, what a battle we've got going so far. At least they have Guts out here. And by the way, that is Amnon's. That's Amnon's nickname. They call him Guts because he loves that poker game. Not a poker game, but a card game, of course, called Guts.
Well, Amnon making his 4th WPT final table appearance. In the meantime, the businessman out of New York, our chip leader, Vadim Trincher, gets a phone call. You're not allowed to talk on the phone at the table, so he gets up and leaves the table to talk business.
That's right. Amnon also out. Lenny not going to play. And now, once again, I can't say
60.
it, but the hot cheese, the ace-jack is going to bet.
Yeah, he's in the small blind here. That hand obviously figures to be favored over the big blind, but look at this. Alex has picked up ace-10 in the big blind.
He's short-stacked. He's suspicious.
Raise.
And he's going to raise.
Well, you can't blame him for raising here, even though he is dominated.
160 total.
160 total.
This could be a very dangerous raise here.
Was that like half your money?
Matt, very perceptive.
A little less.
Recognize that is about half a stack.
I'm all in. I called.
He's going all in, and he's called.
Oh, boy. Possible devastation here for the short stack, Alex Perelberg.
Well, the options trader in dire straits right here. He is dominated and all in, meaning if he loses this pot, he's going to be out in 5th place.
Got in this tournament through a $2,200 satellite. He gets the back rub by his friends. He's in a lot of trouble.
Be nice to get this over with now. I'm in a bad spot here, though. I don't, to tell you the
And
truth.
Matt, Hot Cheese is trying to pretend like he's in a bad spot.
Well, it says he's 50-50 at best. Now, no pro would say that when most pros would know you're at least a 70% favorite to win this spot.
Doing a reverse psychology thing. Here comes the flop.
Oh, a jack comes right in the flop.
Put a king.
Comes queen, jack, 3, and Alex quickly recognizes he can still win the pot with the king and is screaming for one.
We need a king.
Yeah, Hot Cheese, though, well out in front. He's got to sweat a couple more cards. No king here. And the turn is a 7 of clubs.
Well, 7 of clubs comes off.
A club. We need a club.
Well, Alex, you don't need a club because your opponent will have a bigger flush. So you have to catch a king that's not a club to win this pot.
Alex Perelberg on the ropes. Needs a miracle.
Well, there's only 2 kings in the deck that he can catch to win this pot.
Oh, he does.
Because Amnon folded the king of spades.
This was the right time. This was the right time.
In complete peril, but he catches the king!
The king of hearts comes on the river. He hit the 2-outer to stay alive. And Matt Casterella, tough luck for this guy right here.
Happier than a hippie watching a Cheech and Chong movie, the short stack Alex Perelberg is going to survive.
He's cheering as an options trader would if he had inside info, Vince.
Nice guy.
That was the worst card
5 players remain. Here is Foxwoods going after a big title and $750,000.
You can't be mad at me. It's a poker game.
He's mad at you.
No, he's mad at the poker gods. He's not mad at me.
We're coming back with more action on the World Poker Tour.
I told Lenny it was 50-50 before the flop.
I mean, the table would be boring without me.
Absolutely.
Now we can play some poker.
Right, exactly.
Online poker is back in America. No purchase necessary. Play online poker for cash prizes with players across the U.S. Sit next to your favorite ambassadors like Phil Ivey, Brad Owen, Rampage, Wolfgang, and the rest of the WPT crew. Play tournaments and ring games to win real prizes and experiences, including free entries into next-level poker events in Las Vegas. Sign up at clubwptgold.com with promo code YouTube.
Whether I believe him, kind of like Paris Hilton saying that she doesn't like the word hot.
Well, Matt Casterella also said he didn't like the fame. He's just here for the money. Then he's saying the same thing. But Vince, I'm not so sure all these players don't really want to be on camera. Maybe Lenny spent a life at sea, I know, doesn't realize how important this is to him.
All right, and right now you see our chip leader, Vadim Trincher, out in front with 2.9 million. Amnon Filippi in second chip position with 1.9. Let's go to the table. Action going to Vadim. Rich businessman from Russia. Very eccentric player, very fast playing, and this time he has a 9-8.
60.
And he's going to make it 60,000 to go.
Well, Amnon quickly calling with 2 deuces right behind him.
Yes, he does. Leonard Cortellino going out. Hot Cheese also folding his hand.
And now around to Alex.
Yep, the short stack Alex won't play as well, so we have two-way action. Vadim versus Amnon. Here's the flop.
2 New Yorkers going at it here. Flop comes 10-7-4 with 2 diamonds. Vadim has flopped an open-end straight draw. Action is on him. Well, he stretches his neck to see how many chips Amnon's got, and he sees it's quite a few. These are the 2 chip leaders at this table.
And the Russian, the
70.
chip leader. Look at this, he's going to bet 70,000, and a quick call by Amnon with the deuces. Here comes the turn.
Well, Queen of Clubs on the turn. Now what do you do with an open-end straight draw? 2 flush possibilities out there. Well, Vadim's going to check, hoping to get the free card here. And Amnon checks right behind him. Comes the river card. Well, 4 clubs comes off, putting 3 clubs out there. Amnon has the best hand with 2 pair. Action on Vadim. Will he put him to the test here? Vadim's got to figure the only way he can win this pot is to bet at it. But remember, he was called when he raised before the flop, and he was called when he bet on the flop. So would you want to fire here on the river?
Well, they say he's a crazy player. He plays like Gus Hansen with nothing. He's proven that so far tonight. Now, will he make this last bet?
150.
Yes, he does. He lives up to his reputation.
I call.
Well, 150,000 quickly called by
Uh-oh.
Amnon without hesitation.
That's annoyingly
A
quick.
nice call by Amnon, but I don't think it's that tough a call to make, Vince. If you call on the flop, your opponent's going to bet on the turn if he's got tens or queens or any kind of hand in that situation because there's too much drawing possibilities out there.
Well, it's still very annoying. The quickness about the call. The Russian has to feel like he's just been put in the gulag for a couple days. It's very annoying. You think you have control over the table, and then that happens.
Nice call.
Thank you.
All right. Nicely played by the New Yorker, Amnon Filippi, who is one title away from becoming a big star.
Well, he's made 4 WPT final table appearances now, looking for his first title.
Whatever you do, don't play this hand.
You make some
Nothing good
calls
can
like
come of it, I'm
that.
telling you, just fold now.
And he's in a good mood right now after winning that last hand. And
Why?
this time
No,
he's got
I'm
queen,
steaming.
10 of
No, his
spades.
card flipped over. Not you steaming. Not you, him.
He's going to make it 60,000 to go. And now Lenny Cortellino behind him with ace-6 of diamonds will make this call.
Well, Lenny wants to see a flop. Matt going out. Alex out. Run to Vadim. Oh, he's got ace-10 of clubs here, Vince.
Yeah, pretty attractive ace-10 of clubs.
He's got 24,000 in the pot now. No doubt in my mind he's going to play this hand. The question is he just going to call or is he going to come over the top?
Well, he'd like to get revenge to that guy on his left there, Amnon, for calling him with his deuces. Maybe he'll hit here.
He is going to make the call. So we've got three-way action here. Well, here comes the flop. It's Jack, 3 deuce, rainbow, all different suits, no help to anybody.
No, all those cards out there helping no one, and a check by Vadim.
Amnon Filippi actually has the worst hand out of the 3.
125.
Yet he's going to make the continuation bet here. Bets 125,000.
He is boldly betting where no other player might go in this hand. 125,000, just hoping against hope no one had a jack.
Well, Lenny's looking at him like he doesn't believe him. But he is going to lay his hand down.
Only one to beat is the very loose, tough Russian. But he is going to succumb, giving up the pot to Amnon.
So a nice continuation bet by Amnon picks up that pot for him.
Well, he's been here before, but he's just one title away from becoming a WPT Poker Made Millionaire and a big star in the game. Stay with us. We're coming back with more action here on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. 5 players remain here at Foxwoods. Our chip leader right now, Vadim Trincher, with about 2.5 million in chips. Let's go to the table. Action on Lenny Cortellino. He quickly folds his hand.
Well, round to the hot cheese. Matt Casterella, he looks down at an ace-10. He's going to come in for 80,000.
Alex Perelberg out with the chip leader, Vadim Trincher. He's picked up ace-queen.
Now got a real hand this time. We've seen him bet on a lot of garbage so far.
What do we have?
Let's see what he's going to do now.
5, 6, 7,
what's a
8,
countdown?
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
How much you got so I can take it?
14. Probably at 1.6 behind.
1.6.
Vadim, a Russian now residing in New York City.
Very successful businessman. And let me add, a terrific poker player.
First time as a chip leader at the final table, of course. All right, well, he just calls it with ace-queen. Amnon out.
So here comes the flop. Yeah, flop. Jack 8-3 with 2 hearts. That's no help to either player. Vadim has the best hand with ace-queen. He checks.
Hot cheese. Matt also checking.
And now the 6 of spade comes off.
150.
Vadim might be thinking his ace-queen is the best hand here. He's going to bet it.
Yes, he is. Looks like 150,000.
I call.
Well, Matt, not believing Vadim has the best hand, is going to make the call here.
Yeah, hot cheese could turn into cheese bits very quickly. He didn't get lucky on the last card.
Well, here comes that river card. Well, the 7 of hearts comes off, so possible flush, possible straight out there now.
But it's helping neither player. And Vadim sort of given up here. He's checked it.
250.
250,000
Wow.
is being bet by Matt here with just the ace-10.
Yeah, he's saying, you show me some weakness, I'm going to take it away from you.
Well, Vance, there's no way Vadim's going to put him on a flush here because he didn't bet on the flop. He wouldn't give him credit for a 9-10 because he didn't. He would have bet that on the flop also. So very puzzling as to what he's got here.
Of course, on the other hand, they say that Vadim is an unpredictable player. He could come back over the top with nothing. You just never know with this guy, but no, he's going to make a laydown.
He's going to lay it down, so I think that hand was played rather peculiar by Matt Casterella, but it worked out well for him as he outplays Vadim in that pot to take it down.
I the best hand the whole way.
Well, they call him Hot Cheese, and right now he's the big cheese, taking down a very good one.
Hot Cheese taking down the cheese there, that's for sure.
All right to the table. Vadim, a little disgusted there. Quickly folds his hand, a little annoyed about the last hand, and Amnon Filippi getting back in the action with the raise. He's got King 8.
Not often that he gets by Vadim, or he's the first one to be able to raise the pot.
Lenny out, Matt
if
out.
I go out, I want it to be
And Alex
all in.
Perelberg says all in.
I just do. I'm all in.
Look at this. He has just 10-7.
He's got the 10-7 of spade.
Yeah, I
The
know you
crazy
call.
thing is it's only an additional
Hold your breath till
15,000.
the river, Amnon. That's my advice.
He's got to call it.
If he's
Of course, he
ahead,
is very pot committed.
then he's gonna lose. If he's behind, he'll probably win.
I am behind.
Well, he is behind. He's not lying about that. But every
Oof.
time he's been all in, he's been way
10-7
behind, and yet he's won every
I'm
time.
gonna go hang
Can
out
he
with
do
my
it again,
family over
Vince?
there, but good luck to you, okay?
If we hear the screaming, we'll know you won.
For the third time, he's all in with the worst hand. Well, Vince, as my old drill sergeant said, you can only slide so far in barbed wire.
Two
Yeah.
left cards. Two left
Here we go
cards,
with the
right?
flop. King 8 up against 10-7.
Who folded the kings here?
I had a queen.
And look at this. Discussions about everyone's hands.
Well, Amnon out in front with the king high. Let's see what happens. Here comes the flop.
I know.
Oh, the flop comes Queen Jack 9. Alex has flopped a flush draw and an open-end straight draw.
Can he do it again? There's Paul Darden and Steve Sung, two great players, watching on.
Well, right now, Amnon has the best hand with king high. Mathematically not the favorite, but
There's
still,
no king.
he has the
He had a
best
king
hand right
already.
now.
4.
Amnon a little amused at this, it seems.
Well, Amnon can't catch a king or an 8 because that'll give his opponent a straight here.
right?
He just got to hold on at the king high.
10-1.
Just holds up.
Options trader with
I need a spade.
huge outs now.
The turn doesn't matter unless it's a spade.
Oh, but he didn't get it there.
Well, 4 clubs on the turn. That's good for Amnon. Alex looking for a spade, a king, an 8. Any of those cards will win it for him.
First WPT
hit
appearance.
it three
Can he get
times.
lucky? No.
Well, Queen of clubs comes
I
off.
can't hit it 3 times.
So
Okay.
finally, Alex Perelberg does not outdraw somebody on the river. He is eliminated in 5th place.
I told you I wanted to
It was
be
a big effort by Alex Perelberg, 42 years old, out of Westport, Connecticut. First time on the WPT circuit, first tournament. He's going to pick up $106,000 for his efforts. So that's going to do it for him. He has gone a long walk in the forest. We are down to 4 players. We're coming back for more of the World Poker Tour.
Fighting it out for over $750,000 first place prize and a coveted WPT title.
That is right. We just got rid of Alex Perelberg, the options trader. Back to Wall Street he goes. We're down to these 4. Cards are being dealt once again. Action going to Lenny Cortellino.
Vince, I can tell you all 4 of these guys can play poker, but only one can take down the title tonight.
All right, a quick fold by Lenny. Matt Casterella. Hot Cheese also going out.
First walk of the tournament.
Around to Vadim in the small blind.
I know. I'm only kidding.
He just has a Jack 3
And then you left
offsuit,
the guy
but
like 10 minutes
he
later.
wants to see every flop, so he's going to make the call here.
Because the 9 was showing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you couldn't play your 9-3. I remember.
Amnon looking down at
This
a
guy's too
junky little 4-3. So 2 junk hands going to do battle. Here's the flop.
Now flop comes Jack 5 deuce.
Uh-oh.
Vadim has flopped top pair, but Amnon has flopped an open-end straight draw.
Check.
Vadim checks, and Amnon quickly checks right behind him.
2 checks. Now look at this card, a 3 that gives Vadim 2 pair.
Gives Amnon a pair and an open-end straight draw.
Sure does.
But Vadim is now going to bet 2 pair.
Yep, he's getting his chips out. Looks like about 55,000. Look at this.
Quickly called by Amnon. You can't blame him for calling here. I'd call too, especially if my opponent checked on the flop.
You want to see that river card? Amnon's going to see it. Here it is.
Oh, and it's a 3.
Oh man.
Amnon has made 3 threes, but unfortunately for him, Vadim has made a full house. 3s full of jacks. Action is on Vadim.
Yep. And look at this. He has the guts to check this, hoping to get a bet.
125.
Just wishing to get the bet, and he does get the bet.
Well, Vance, anybody would bet 3 of a kind after your opponent checks here. Amnon betting 125,000. Now Vadim You know, it looks like he's gone to one of those famous acting schools in New York. Which ones are those, Vince? You've been there.
Oh, yeah, that would be the Tory Spelling Academy, I believe.
Oh, and look at this. He's just sitting back in his seat like he doesn't know what to do. We know what he's going to do. He's going to raise this pot with a full house.
It's a performance. There's a lot of subtleties to this performance, and we're seeing it by the Russian businessman. You know he's just going to snap back with a raise.
300 more.
Yep, there it is. A $300,000 re-raise.
I call.
Oh, that is going to hurt. He can't get away from that.
Well, Vadim is going to take down over $1 million pot to extend his chip lead.
Wow.
Well, that's what happens when you have to play those junk cards in the blinds. Crazy things can happen, and that is a big pot for the chip leader.
425.
Vadim Trincher with the team of his buddy Nick Schulman and Eugene Kachelov. They are well on the way to a title. He's got some stiff competition. New Yorker Amnon Filippi, the Navy man Lenny Cortellino, and of course, we've got hot cheese Matt Casterella. Very tough.
4 tough poker players fighting it out for this coveted WPT title.
I had a 3 also.
Sick. Well, with that hand, our time has run out. But as you can see, anything can happen on the World Poker Tour.
Online poker is back in America. No purchase necessary. Play online poker for cash prizes with players across the U.S. Sit next to your favorite ambassadors like Phil Ivey, Brad Owen, Rampage, Wolfgang, and the rest of the WPT crew. Play tournaments and ring games to win real prizes and experiences, including free entries into next-level poker events in Las Vegas. Sign up at clubwptgold.com with promo code YouTube.
For the first time tonight, we've got a new chip leader. That's Matt the Hot Cheese Casterella. He's got $2.35 million in chips. In second place, the ex-Navy man Lenny Cortellino with $2.1 million. Vadim Trincher now in third place with just under $2 million. And in fourth place, top pro Amnon Filippi with $1.4 million.
Okay, to the felt we go. Action going to Amnon Filippi, and he's going to throw away his 8-3.
Over to the ex-Navy man Lenny Cortellino. Got the Jack 8 of hearts. Just wants to stay out of the way for a while.
Yep, and now Matt Casterella with 10-8 going to call.
He limps in and calls. Vadim has picked up 2 queens in the big blind. He's going to raise it $100,000.
I call.
Makes it 150 to go. Matt going to splash around, makes the call.
Well, Matt's the one player that said he never believes this guy when he bets. And here comes a flop 10-4 deuce. Matt has flopped top pair. Vadim, of course, has the over pair.
Well, Matt has checked, and now Vadim betting $250,000. With the overpair, the ladies.
Well, Vince, this is part of the problem. When you call raise with marginal hands, you've hit top pair.
Ooh.
Now he's going to raise, and he is headed for
He
quicksand.
says re-raise here. He says $750,000 to go.
Well, Vince, it's the kind of flop that there's no flush possibilities. No straights. Hard to believe your 2 queens aren't the best hand. He moves all in. And Matt doesn't like it at all.
Nor does his friends and family.
Well, Vince, there's nearly $3 million in the pot right now. It's going to cost Matt about another $1 million to make the call, so he's getting 3-to-1 odds on his money. But
Do I even have that?
you know, even aggressive players pick up hands once in a while.
It's such a big pot.
Well, it is a big pot. It's going to be a lot bigger if you call it.
I wish I had 3-5. I would have called already.
Matt looking about as confused as a politician without a teleprompter right now. Just doesn't know what to do.
Well, Vince, all he can beat is a bluff here in my mind.
Do you want me to call?
So if you think your opponent's bluffing, you can call him. If not, you just lay it down and save your $1 million.
What a turning point this could be. It'd be a great lay down.
I call.
Cheese could get away with it, but he doesn't.
Well, he said earlier before the final table started, he just never believes this guy. Maybe he's going to believe him now. 2 WPT champs, Nick Schulman and
Nice
Eugene
hand.
Kachelov, along with Vadim's son, Ilya, rooting Vadim on here. He's the big favorite to win this pot and double up here and regain the chip lead.
Jack 3 or something?
A deuce comes off on the turn. That means an 8 won't help Matt anymore. He must catch a 10 on the river to win this pot.
Not me.
Has to make 10s full. Nothing else will do. 6 of clubs comes off. So there you go. Just as quickly after relinquishing the chip lead, he retakes it in the next hand, Vince.
You never believe me.
I thought you were steaming.
The hot cheese turned rotten
I
right
can't
there.
control.
got involved over his head.
You really think I am not?
And the table talk continues as 4 players
The
remain.
only thing I was worried about was my kicker. I thought he was going to show me total air. That's such a bad read.
Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action from Foxwoods in just a moment. We are back here at Foxwoods for the World Poker Tour. Welcome. 4 players remain, and the blinds are going up to 30 and 60,000.
And once again, our chip leader is successful businessman Vadim Trincher with over 4.2 million in chips. He is in command right now.
All right, to the table we march. It's going to be on Lenny Cortellino, the retired Navy man. He looks down at an ace-7.
Well, he's playing very conservative right now, just trying to move up a notch or two and get more prize money. Lays that hand down.
And now Matt Hot Cheese Casterella has picked up ace-king. He's going to raise with it, 160,000 to go.
He's got to love this hand. He's on the short stack and picked up a big duke.
The Russian has got a pair of 6s.
Should have known you'd ask.
And he says, how much you got again?
1, 2,
Matt
3,
seems annoyed by that.
4, 5, 650, 675 more.
675 more than this?
More than that. Does that blow your mind?
Yeah.
He's a little perturbed by the constant question of how much you got left.
375.
But Vadim doesn't care. He's going to come back over the top.
And just that quick, Amnon has gone all in with 2 7s.
Wow.
Jeff, what's the difference between 3rd and 4th?
Now, Hot Cheese says, what is the difference between 3rd and 4th place money? He wants to know.
Well, it's actually a little over 75,000.
That pained look on his face.
Well, Vince, with so much money in the pot already and with your chip count, if you're trying to win a WPT title, I think you got to gamble here with the ace-king.
I'm all in.
But he's going to do it.
Yep, he's going to make the call. I admire him for making it. He could have sat out and let these guys clash, but he's going for the gold.
Now, Vadim is in that tight spot. With just the 6s, another guy coming back over the top and a call.
Tough.
Don't think you can call this at this point.
Yeah, it's going to cost him about another 700,000-800,000 to make the call here. He wins the pot, he could bust 2 players and be down to heads up with a dominating chip lead, so he could afford to make the call, but he's going to lay it down, and it's a wise decision.
Ace king.
As Amnon turns up the 2 7s, Matt turns up the ace-king, and we've got a race situation. And Matt, the Hot Cheese Casterella, his tournament life is on the line.
I wanted to isolate. I know I can't go bust if he folds.
That's just a moment ago. Matt was the chip leader. He played a big pot with ace-king when he had ace-king up against 2 10s and lost.
You get to see it first.
Here he's got ace-king against 2 7s. Here's the flop, 9-8 deuce.
Yeah, not going to help. Hot Cheese.
Diamond.
Not the flop he wanted exactly, as his friend seems to be in some type of a weird trance, rooting him on.
Well, Benchy knows he's got to get lucky and hit 2 running diamonds or an ace or a king to win the pot. The 3 of hearts comes off on the turn. We are down to the river card. The Hot Cheese is going to have to catch an ace or a king on the river, or he's going to turn to buttermilk.
Yeah, ace-king was his favorite hand, just a few hands back. Can it be this time? No.
Oh, but deuce comes off. So that's going to do it for Matt Casterella. The Hot Cheese melts away in 4th place.
Mr. Trincher, a pleasure.
Fine gentleman, going to pick up 138,000 for his efforts. Well, the Hot Cheese has finally melted. He is out of here.
I feel a little drained. It was a long 6 days. I feel like I played my best, though. I gave it my best shot. Trencher, very tough for me to put him on a hand. That's why I called him with a 10-8, but he actually woke up with a hand for the first time all tournament, so what can you do? I'm sure I'll feel better about it tomorrow.
So the cheese has been grilled. We are down to 3 players.
3 players left.
Action going to Lenny.
Well, the ex-Navy man now in 3rd place with 3 players left. He's been playing real conservative lately, but he's going to have to step it up. He wants to win this title. He's doing it here as he raises it to 150,000.
Yeah, with ace-7 of spades. Vadim quickly folding his hand, but Amnon in the big blind is going to, looks like it's going to call it with an 8-6 of hearts.
He's feeling real good. He just won the last pot to eliminate a player, so let's look at a flop here, he says.
What if I refuse?
And here comes that flop. It's come ace, queen, 6. Amnon has flopped bottom pair and checks. Lenny has flopped top pair, and he is going to bet 150,000 into a pot that's 350,000.
Yeah, pretty small bet. And he gets a call by Amnon.
Well, Amnon's going to gamble here. Oh, and it looks like it might pay off as an 8 comes off on the turn.
Unbelievable.
200.
Amnon now has 2 pair.
And he quickly checks it, and a $200,000 bet by Lenny.
Well, Amnon is rechecking his cards here, wants to make sure he has hit his turn card.
550.
Well, he is going to raise it here, Vince. It's gone from 200,000 up to 550,000.
What a position now that puts Lenny Cortellino in.
Well, Vince, and he's got a little over $1 million left in chips is all. In my mind, all you can beat here is a bluff.
Come on. I call.
He's gone all in a quick call by Amnon Filippi.
Well, the Navy man could be submarined out of here in 3rd place, but he didn't lay this hand down. But on the other hand, he can get lucky.
I
He
need
can
a
catch
queen.
an ace, a queen, or a 7 to win this pot. He must catch one of those 3 cards. Otherwise, he'll be torpedoed out of here.
Here we go. 5th Street here in a moment. Let's take a peek at what it is.
Then he's looking for an ace, queen, or a 7. Let's see if he can get it. Nope. King of Diamonds comes off. So the retired Navy man, Lenny Cortellino, out in 3rd place.
All right. Good game.
Lenny shaking hands. 214,000 he will pick up for this week's work. So the body count continues to grow here at Foxwoods as we have heads-up action about to begin.
And Vince, many pros would have predicted that it would come down to these 2 guys. They came to the final table as the 2 chip leaders. I'm talking about Vadim Trincher and Amnon Filippi, and they are going to fight it out for this title. And incredibly, they're almost dead even in chips as we begin the heads-up match.
Welcome back to Foxwoods for the World Poker Tour. The heads-up battle about to begin. And there he is, Vadim Trincher, in 2nd chip position with about 3.8 million. There's our chip leader, Amnon Filippi, with about 3.9.
Well, 2 tough poker players out of New York City fighting it out for this coveted title.
First hand happening right here. And Vadim, look at this, ace, queen of hearts.
Well, that's a monster hand playing heads-up poker.
150.
And Vadim is going to raise it, makes it 150,000 to go.
Amnon with just a 7 deuce here. And the blinds are still 30 and 60,000.
Wow, he's going to raise it, Vince. He's coming over the top with the worst 2-card starting hand and hold him. The 7 deuce offsuit, he makes it 400,000 to go.
He's just betting on that Vadim has nothing, and of course we know entirely false. Vadim with a big hand. I'm surprised he doesn't re-raise.
Well, he just makes the call here, so we're going to have a flop.
Amnon in quicksand here with a 7 deuce, but so far so good. He hits a pair of deuces.
Well, it's come 10-8 deuce. He's got bottom pair, but he checks. Doesn't make the continuation bet.
And Vadim's going to try to take the play away. He's betting 300,000.
But he's quickly called by Amnon, and now an ace comes on the turn. And Vadim has taken the lead with 2 aces. Amnon checks the 2 deuces. Vadim checks right behind him.
Cat and mouse, and it only gets better for Vadim with the queen on the river hitting him 2 pair.
Well, Amnon checks the deuces again.
And now Vadim squinting like he's confused. Should he bet, should he not? Beautiful performance.
700.
He's going to bet 700,000 with the top 2 pair. Some people would say Amnon is guilty of FPS here, Vince.
Hey, keep it clean, Mike.
Well, that is clean. It's called fancy play syndrome.
Oh, yes.
You know, when you try to re-raise a guy with a 7 deuce offsuit, you just want to show him the bluff when you win the pot and giggle at him. But it's backfired here on Amnon. And it's really going to backfire if he comes over the top right here for more chips. But he doesn't. He lays his hand down. So with that pot, Vadim takes the chip lead.
Yep, and that is Nick Schulman, a WPT champion, and the coach of Vadim Trincher, sitting in the audience rooting his man on.
Well, Vadim's son, Ilya, quite a poker player himself, sitting right beside Nick Schulman there, as well as WPT champ Eugene Ketchelov. So those are 3 sharp young minds rooting the old man in.
Yep. Vadim is now our new chip leader again with 4.4
You
million.
start to bluff.
It's heads up. What am I going to do?
Play your hand.
As Vadim's table talk a little bit, put the needle in him.
All right, I won't bluff if you don't bluff.
Okay.
2 liars at the table.
Well, that cracks up Amnon when he hears Vadim says he's not going to bluff anymore.
All right, action going to Amnon. And this time he has a pretty solid pair of 9s.
150.
Big hand. He is going to raise it. He makes it 150,000 to go.
And Vadim with the king jack.
It's not a bad hand playing heads up poker, but he's beat right now. Let's see what he's going to do though with the king jack.
400.
He's going to raise it to 400,000, just like Amnon did the first pot. It backfired on Amnon. Will it backfire on Vadim? Well, Vince, if I was Amnon here, I'd just come over the top with a big bet.
Well, I have to agree. You got the pair of nines. You got to bully him out. If you beat, you beat. Try to take the pot right now. Don't let the guy catch something on you.
On the other hand, you're in position against him on the button. And Amnon's opting just to look at a flop first. So he just makes the call, does not re-raise here. Here comes a flop. Let's come king, six, deuce. Vadim has taken the lead with two kings, and he checks.
Just what you don't want if you're Amnon.
Well, Amnon wisely checks the two nines behind him. Doesn't want to fall in a trap here. Now a six comes off.
Pairs the board.
Well, Vadim has the best hand with kings and sixes. And now he's reaching to make a wager.
400.
And he's going to bet 400,000. And that bet is quickly called by Amnon.
Yep. And look at Amnon shoot the look as he's putting his chips in. Wanted to see a response by Vadim.
Vince, it's hard not to call with two nines there when your opponent checked the flop on you.
600.
And now it's a $600,000 bet.
Well, this is a Russian torture chamber if you're Amnon.
Just walking the dog here a little to get out of him what he can. And Amnon does make the call with the nines. He's going to lose this pot. And Vince, here's a pot where Amnon lost over $1.5 million. And you wonder if he wouldn't won about 400 had he just come right over the top and moved all in with the two nines before the flop.
Well, it proves timid play can really cost you. That one hurt Amnon. But the two players will battle to the finish in just a few moments here on the World Poker Tour.
Online poker is back in America. No purchase necessary. Play online poker for cash prizes with players across the U.S. Sit next to your favorite ambassadors like Phil Ivey, Brad Owen, Rampage, Wolfgang, and the rest of the WPT crew. Play tournaments and ring games to win real prizes and experiences, including free entries into next-level poker events in Las Vegas. Sign up at clubwptgold.com with promo code YouTube.
Andes are going up to 10,000. Blinds are 40 and 80 as the heads-up battle continues.
And as you can see, Vadim Trincher has taken a commanding chip lead in this heads-up battle. They started about even in chips, but after the first couple hands, Vadim has a 4-1 chip lead.
Yep, Vadim this time with the button has a pair of nines. And yes, he's going to raise, going to make it 240,000 to go.
Amnon with just a king 4 offsuit wants to see a flop, so he makes the call. Here comes the flop. Oh, it's come king 6-5, a great flop for Amnon. He's now out in front with the two kings and checks them. And Vadim checks the two nines right behind him.
It only gets better for Amnon. Kings and fours now on the turn.
250.
And because of the flush possibilities and straight possibilities, Amnon now going to bet 250,000.
Nines mean nothing in this game anymore. So that's $250,000.
And Vadim with the two nines think they might be the best hand.
Yep.
As it turns out, the only way he can win the pot is if he catches the 9 of hearts on the river. The 9 of clubs won't help him.
He's not trusting Amnon. Pot swelling up here, river card.
Oh, when a king comes off, Amnon has a full house, kings full of fours, a dream card for him.
Check.
Well, he's going to check it.
Yep.
Just in case Vadim was just on a drawing hand, wants to give him a chance to bluff at the pot. But Vadim's sitting there with two nines, and I would think they were the best hand if I was him, the way this hand was played.
350.
He's going to bet 350,000, trying to sneak in a little value bet there, but this value is going to pot because Amnon has a full house, and Vince, he's put on his acting hat.
I'm all in.
Well, Amnon does go all in with kings full. Vince, now Vadim has got a tough decision here. He's got two nines. There's over $2.5 million in the pot. It's going to cost him about $800,000 more to make the call, so he's getting a huge price on his money. If he wins the pot, the turn-on will be over, but what he's thinking is, would this guy really bluff off his last money here? And that's what he's got to figure out. If he doesn't think the guy would bluff his last money off, he should throw the nines away.
Yeah, he's well invested, but he makes a very shrewd laydown, saves that last 820.
Let me tell you, that is a great laydown in my mind because he had so many chips. Many people would have called another 800, just hoping that if they won the pot, the tournament's over. Vadim opted to save that 800,000.
The crowd really interested in this result tonight. A WPT title on the line, as well as over 750,000. Let's go to the table. Amnon Filippi now with the button. And a measly old Jack 4.
And he's creeped up to 2 million in chips again. And he's going to try to stay aggressive here, it looks like. He's getting out some raisin chips, even though it's a junk hand. You like to maintain the lead, especially in position on the button, and he is raising it to 175,000.
Into Vadim, who has a little suited connector, 7-6 of spades.
1.8.
Vadim always wanted to know the other guy's chip sack.
And you know, Vince, players
what
don't
do you-
have to answer him.
No.
They have to just remove their hands and show them how many chips there are, let the dealer counter or something, but you don't have to speak to your opponent. Everybody has so far when Vadim is asking.
And Vadim is just going to call it.
So he makes the call with the suited connectors, and here comes the flop, Jack 5-5. Amnon has flopped jacks and fives. Vadim has flopped a flush draw. Vadim is checked.
And now Amnon with his Motown hand, jacks and fives. He's going to stick out 300,000.
Now what do you do with the flush draw here? Vadim is getting out raising chips, it looks like. He's hoping his guy's got something like ace-9 or something, might throw his hand away, but as it is, his opponent's got 2 jacks. He raised it a $500,000 more.
So you're calling me, huh? That's what you're telling me?
No matter what.
I believe him.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
All right, I'm all in.
Wow.
But Amnon is moving all in. He just thinks jacks up are the best hand right now.
I call.
He's been called by Vadim. As the cards lie, Amnon almost a 2-1 favorite to win this pot and double up and take the chip lead in this heads-up battle. Vadim needs to catch a spade to make a flush, or 2 running cards to make a straight. Obviously, running 7s or running 6s will win it for him as well. But right now, he is behind Amnon, out in front, with a great chance to double up and take the lead.
Good luck, sir.
Well, he says good luck, but you know he doesn't mean that.
Here we go with a turn.
Well, the 8 of spade comes off.
Man, Vadim has hit his flush.
It's not over yet, though. Amnon can catch a jack or a 5 and make a full house, but he must catch a jack or a 5, or this tournament is history.
Amnon going to the rail, to his friends, to his wife.
I knew that flush draw. Forward.
He needs a miracle right now.
And he said, I knew he had a flush draw.
Good game.
Vadim, 1 card away from a title holder. Here comes the river.
Well, it's a king of spade, so that's going to do it. The successful businessman out of New York City, Vadim Trincher, is our champion. And once again, at a final table, Amnon Filippi cannot quite cross the finish line. But what a show he put on this week, Vince.
Vadim Trincher is our champion. Going to take home $731,000, a WPT title, as he gets a big hug from the wife.